Hello friends, today we have with us CA Chandrashekhar Chitale, who is the chairman of ESB and who has come from Pune to attend some meetings, and we got this opportunity to interact with you, sir, and we are very much fortunate that I will be able to discuss with you about the ethics. It is said that ethics is absolute and not relative, means if something is wrong done, it has the impact on society at large at all. So how it should be stopped, how it should be controlled. In this line of thought process, I welcome you first of all to the city of joy. And my first question to you, sir, how you feel when you come to Kolkata, sir, the city of joy?
So this is not my first visit to Kolkata. Whenever I come to Kolkata, I am overwhelmed with the pleasure, the sense of prosperity and the peace which Guru Rabindranath Tagore, Vivekananda ji have bestowed upon the mankind, and today which is globally adored. So this age is also no exception to that, and I am very happy to visit Kolkata whenever there is occasion to come here and to contribute something for the cause of the profession. And today it was to solicit the views from members of the AIRC, particularly stationed at Kolkata, as to what advancements we can make in the provisions relating to code of ethics for chartered accountants.
Okay, thank you, sir. The objective is very clear. Sir has come to solicit the views of our members, how it can be further be make more useful to all of us. Sir, my first question in the form of learning from you is that what do you mean by ethics as per you?
Sir, as far as common sense is concerned, ethics is we know what are do's and what are don'ts. The functions, whatever you are doing, should be moral. What is moral, what is immoral, broadly we are aware. You should be doing your profession with honesty, with integrity. Now additionally, as a chartered accountant, we have certain more responsibilities towards the client, towards the stakeholders. Let me amplify. In case of a client, when you come to know various aspects of his business, maybe secrets, professionally we are not expert to divulge those secrets to the others. So that is the professional responsibility which we have undertaken, and in the code of ethics of the ICAI, this has come as a specific clause where a chartered accountant is prohibited, whether he is in practice or is in service, from revealing those secrets to anyone else other than the client and use it for the purpose other than for which it has been received. So this is expressly stated, so that we have to follow. And as far as the nation, the stakeholders are concerned, if any wrongdoings, any transgression of law is made by the client, by the person whom you are serving, it is the duty of a chartered accountant towards nation that he must point out these wrongdoings, and ultimately he has to stop anyone from doing those wrongdoings, and if they are grievous, maybe appropriate action also has to be initiated. So this gamut of the ethical provisions is contained in Code of Ethics, which is adopted by the ICAI. Of course, the Code of Ethics is the forward going. Whatever we adopted in 1949, some of the provisions may or may not be relevant in this century. So we are trying to revisit them, and always we are trying to walk with the time.
Yeah. We can also say in this way that ethics is something broader than anything legal or illegal. If any action which is legal but not ethics should not be adhered upon.
Yes, that's what our past president, founder president, GP Kapadia ji said, that if something you are doing may be legal but it is not ethical, then you should not do it.
Yeah.
So we are clear on this particular aspect.
Very holistic approach, a very holistic thought process that we should think ethics and not legality only that particular things. Right. Sir, nowadays not only chartered accountant, everyone is facing lot of challenges in terms of publicity. So what types of bold steps or relative steps is being taken care by the ICI so that the chartered accountant become more flexible and more adaptable by the society at large?
As far as chartered accountants are concerned, on one hand, they are governed by the provisions of Chartered Accountants Act 1949 and regulations made thereunder. On the other hand, there are code of ethics which amplify certain requirements contained in the act and certain other requirements which are ethically upbringing of that chartered accountant or upholding the profession, so that the stakeholders' confidence is retained in the profession. Now, you have asked about the advertisement. So, there is embargo on chartered accountants on soliciting business, on doing advertisements, and this particular prohibition is contained in Chartered Accountants Act 1949. So, if at all we have to revisit this provision, it is necessary that the Parliament revisits this provision and amends it. Of course, as an institute, we also may recommend to the Parliament if we think it appropriate. Now, the current thought process with the Ethical Standards Board is, there are two types of services which a chartered accountant is offering. One is, which is an exclusive domain of chartered accountant, say attest function, auditing, issuing certificates, etc. And one where he is competing with the others, which are other chartered accountants, other professionals, and other persons who may not be professionals, maybe simply commerce graduate or who are qualified to do a particular thing. Just to illustrate, take simple example of bookkeeping, accountancy, preparation of financial statements, advisory on management consultancy, information technology, forensic accounting, and so on, tax consultancy. So, what the thought process is, where a field which is exclusive domain of the profession, the present embargo on advertisement should continue. But the field which is not the domain of chartered accountants or which is exclusive field of chartered accountants, and where other persons rendering similar services are not prohibited from advertisement, the chartered accountants also should be allowed to advertise, because then only they will find a level playing ground.
True.
So from that perspective, the board will consider and make representation to the government to make the amendments. For that, we are soliciting views from members as well.
Right.
And other stakeholders also can offer their views.
Sir, one thing one good thing I want to share you. Today we have launched V3, the new system of MCA, and we Chartered Accountant was joint partner to organize this event, and from Kolkata, Eastern India, we launched it, and we got
this was the first event by MCA, so congratulations to ERC.
To the ICI, sir, which
Yes, to
given this
ICI.
opportunity to us to hold it, and they were very much hopeful and very much reliable that yes, chartered accountant can help in their executions. Once Supreme Court has also stated that they believe on the examination process of the chartered accountant. So something we have got a lot of confidence and reliability from the society. Still, improvement is always there. So what as a further improvement feeling you expect from the members at large, this should be taken care of?
There are two things. One is, as far as deliverance is concerned, if you entrust that particular assignment where others are also allowed to do it, there is a confidence that whatever is promised will be delivered by a chartered accountant.
Yes.
That is number one. Number two, if it is not delivered by a professional, then the Institute of Chartered Accountants has got a disciplinary mechanism where the complaints are dealt with and the erring chartered accountants are booked. But the complaints on this domain on want of deliverance etc. are minimal. In newspapers we see sometimes that chartered accountant is arrested for this purpose or that purpose. But what happens in the chartered accountants are having more go in taxation, in various other services. Therefore, without checking the erring person is chartered accountant or not, those news are released. At ICI, immediately on receiving such news, we check it and we found in many cases the person was not professionally qualified, but he was described as a chartered accountant because he is doing services which otherwise chartered accountants render. So there also we are taking action against those that misreporting. And considering the provisions in Code of Ethics, the stakeholders are assured of wholesome performance. So that is the deliverance of our code of ethics, that the product you get from a chartered accountant is appropriate and wholesome, and again it is in keeping four corners of law in mind, because under ethics, under act, chartered accountants don't travel beyond the provisions of act or whatever regulatory provisions are there. Now there is a thought process that whatever code of ethics we have adopted is maybe not revised for a decade or so. So in a forward looking manner, if there are other manner in which the services can be dispensed, maybe chartered accountant should consider it, and accordingly you should walk with the time.
True.
Considering, say, take example of return of income uploading. There are more than 5 crore employees who are furnishing return of income. Usually they used to go to the office of a chartered accountant, but now electronically app is available. In the app you give the information which is called for.
Required, yes.
The app itself generates the return of
SMS,
income and it is uploaded. So why chartered accountants should not be allowed to provide those apps? It's not that they are prohibited, but today the question mark is there. If he develops, if he puts on his website, how it will be seen, whether it will be ethical. So the board is considering, and in all likelihood maybe we will consider it positively and allow whatever professional services you are dispensing, you can dispense either physically or through app.
Yeah.
Or in a remote manner. So that
Means the chartered accountant has put their knowledge in the form of electronically, and they can work from that. So ultimately we are providing the services to the chartered accountant through the AI or through the technological support.
yes, to the technology you are making a platform.
Yeah.
And that platform, supposing information has been input by a salaried person, and if you calculate his income applying the legal provisions, the income comes to say 28,43,000. Then app also should
The same figures.
reflect the same figure, and whatever are the heads, if it is salary, if it is house property, other sources, under each head it should go, and then the return should be uploaded.
So ultimately end result has to be checked. If it is
Exactly.
okay, then okay.
So the app will enable the person seamlessly to travel from the data to output.
Yes, true. Sir, this is the last question I want to ask from you. Many times it is found that the new interns who pass the chartered accountancy course, and once they come to practice, they are very much not aware of the code of ethics. Very much, very likely. And many, we found that sometimes of mistakes are done by them. But of course, they have done not intentionally but by mistakes. How our institute takes these types of issues when it comes to their knowledge?
So 2 years ago, the institute has revised the curriculum of chartered accountancy. Now, ethics being one part of the subject, in each subject, be it auditing, be it taxation, be it corporate laws, wherever a service is embedded with certain ethical provisions,
Yes.
those provisions are dealt with under the respective captions rather than taking it as a separately. But it is expected that a person who is undergoing the CA course, he should also understand the code of ethics. While articleship training, as you are aware, for 2 years is one of the USP of the chartered accountancy course. So during articleship training also, the principle, the manner in which he behaves is a demonstration, is a live learning.
Yes.
That how ethical practice
True.
can be. So from that also they learn. Now what happens? Now we say that inadvertently a particular provision has not been followed, etc. See, if there is a bullet and if inadvertently you fire it and somebody gets killed, ultimately he has to pay the price for that. Of course, it depends upon whether you have killed the person or it has been just a brush affair. So accordingly, say for example, our code of ethics provide that if you receive an audit from an other former auditor was different, you have to seek communication with him. People don't do. The main purpose of this communication is that he should be able to recover his fees. It should not happen that his fees are unpaid and the client deserts him. So to that effect, maybe the attitude is first see that whether there has been a major fault, that fees are also in arrears and still audit is accepted without communication, or at least fees were paid and the audit is accepted without communication. In both the cases there would be punishment, but the measure of punishment would vary.
Yeah.
So accordingly, the disciplinary mechanism considers it.
This is really matter of proud of all of us that even in the CA curriculum, ethics part can be embedded. Means embedded in the DNA of the chartered accountant. So nothing is going to happen knowingly. So this is always concept of mens rea. Hence it is said that one who is deep rooted cannot be uprooted. So our chartered accountants have the ethics in their blood whenever they are going to pass the examinations, and it is very likely they will not violate any ethical part while dispensing of their duty to the stakeholders. Sir, any concluding remarks from your side to the message to our chartered accountants who is looking at your video in the different places?
Sir, I am very happy that you have taken up this subject of ethics. Ethics is indispensable for any professional. In case of ICI, we have robust mechanism that where there is error on parts of ethics, mistake on complying with the ethics, the institute doesn't tolerate. But at the same time, we want to see whatever the present set of ethics or code of conduct is there, whether there is scope for the purpose of revisit whatever matter you are putting on your website. Now there are so many provisions that your membership number should be there, etc. So we are visiting. At least your website should be your brand ambassador.
Yeah.
In that, if you don't put your membership number, whether it would be a wrong statement. So whatever is required for the clients, if you put on website, that is fine. So we are going to make certain negative list that okay, you don't say that you are expert in the field or you are the best person in that field, or you don't criticize somebody else. So some do's and don'ts are given. Subject to that, you can have
Go
freedom.
ahead.
So likewise, it is not that the entire ideas are within that the board will be able to think of each and every aspect. If members are interested that okay, there are certain provisions which they feel are archaic, they are no more relevant, then we welcome their suggestions. Whatever suggestions come, I can assure as a chairman of the Ethical Standards Board that each and every suggestion will be considered. If the board considers that the suggestion should be accepted as it is, it will be done. If some modification is called for, that may be done. And if it is felt that it should not be accepted, it will not be accepted, but for each decision there will be a reasoning. Without reasoning, we will not take the decision and board does not take.
Yeah.
So I appeal members and even students that if you have any suggestions, you are welcome to send it to the board. Maybe through, if you are from Eastern region, you can either send through the EIRC or you can send directly to the ICI. And for that, our website is ESB, Ethical Standards Board, ESB@ICAI.in.
Viewers, please be proactive and send your suggestions to direct sir or through ERC so that we can make a better future, better regulations for the time to come, to expose ourselves to be the best practitioners in the world, and we can take our country ahead. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming here on the podcast. Thanks a lot, sir.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.